Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. I'm a bit under the weather today, but nevertheless, as you know, cricket is my a great love for me. And well, on this today's cricket show, I could say what a sensational day of cricket we had yesterday. One was thinking only the chase between Australia and Pakistan, where Pakistan had to stage the most successful chase in Test history. Well, they definitely really made a good fist of it, but in the end, they ended up with 450, just 40 runs, 39 runs behind, and Australia won the first Test. But what a way for Pakistan to really challenge the total with Asad Shafiq and Yasir Shah are doing a fantastic job. I thought Yasir Shah getting his highest score in Test cricket. Asad Shafiq was the victim, but he got a ball. I mean, they were on course. I mean, Australia were one thought that probably Pakistan were going to make history by actually winning this particular Test match with 40 runs, but what a delivery Mitchell Starc produced. I mean, absolutely a very unplayable delivery, and that definitely Australia needed something of that to really stop the Pakistanis, and that's what they precisely did, and that really brought a real din to the all the shouting that was going on by the, as I said, in the at the Gabba in Brisbane yesterday. It was mostly it was vocal Pakistan supporters. I mean, the Aussies were outnumbered, one could say, as far as spectators were concerned, because they were all Pakistan spectators who were outnumbering the Aussies there, and they were rooting for Pakistan. But definitely, well played Pakistan, and Pakistan will be proud, even though they lost it. They deserve great credit for it. Absolute team spirit, and they did not get disheartened. They definitely lost the first Test, but Australia know what to expect from Pakistan in the second Test match, which will be starting on Boxing Day at the MCG. But one thing that I would like to say is that Pakistan have really showed a lot of courage in challenging a total. And also, one more thing I would like to say, one thought that Stephen Smith's captaincy was something which was a bit difficult to really read into, because one probably thought he would be attacking, but on the other hand, Stephen Smith, when the match started, to me was very defensive. In fact, he decided not to have two slips. Probably one would have said that with Yasir Shah at the other end, one would have probably thought that Stephen Smith would have been very aggressive by attacking. Probably Stephen Smith was a bit worried that if at all Pakistan would go on to win this match. So definitely Pakistan, with their very good batting, had sowed the doubt into the minds of the Aussie captain, and the Aussie captain decided that he went into a defensive field. Only towards the final stages, I thought that Stephen Smith showed some attacking this, because he couldn't get a wicket, so he got the attack, and that's what fetched the wicket when Mitchell Starc produced a throat-lifting delivery at the throat of Asad Shafiq. Asad Shafiq, all that he could do was to fend at it, and David Warner managed to cling on to the catch. And after that, Stephen Smith did the honours by running out Yasir Shah, when Yasir Shah, digging a yorker from Starc, was caught napping as he was out of the ground, and there was victory celebration. But Pakistan did a wonderful job. As you know, the highest successful score was 418, but this will be the third most total where they've chased, even though they've not been successful. Pakistan will be happy that once they chased 377 successfully against Sri Lanka, now the highest would be 450 for them, even though they lost it. But nevertheless, they really went for it, and it was very good to see that Pakistan challenged that total in a big manner. And also, so this was something that everyone were waiting for. It held the center of attention, as I said. But at the other end, in India, in Chennai on the fourth day, there was great history made. I mean, records tumbled everywhere. It tumbled at the Gabba in Brisbane, and it also tumbled, lot of records tumbled at the in India, where India notched up their highest score ever in Test cricket of 759 for 7 declared. It was all thanks in the main to one person who now, his name is Karun Nair. He failed in 3 innings, and in his very third Test match of his career, he has done something absolutely extraordinary. He went on to register a triple century, and he was 305 not out in that colossal Indian total of 759 for 7 declared. As soon as Karun Nair got to his triple century, it was Virat Kohli applying the declaration. What a knock from Karun Nair. He was failing in this series. He got to his maiden century. Now, one thing I would like to share here is that Len Hutton, the former England great batsman Len Hutton, was the one who had the record of scoring a triple century in only his 9 Test matches. So that was the closest. I mean, that was the record. In his 9 Test match of his career, he scored his maiden century, and here comes Karun Nair scoring a triple century in his very third Test match of his career. And what a knock! I mean, nobody, even Karun Nair, would have been surprised by what he did. And as you know, in India, Virendra Sehwag, the former great batsman, was the one who brought India into the triple century books when he scored 308, I reckon. So that was a triple century which scored in 2008 by Sehwag. And he is the only person, Virendra Sehwag is the only person who has scored a triple century in Test cricket. And here comes Karun Nair in only his third Test match of his career at a very young age. He has gone on to break that record. Now Karun Nair will hold the record for a triple century scored in only his third Test match. And this is a record which is going to be very difficult to break. It is going to stand for a long time in Test cricket for sure. Well, congratulations to Karun Nair, and Australia and India were really dictating terms. But going into the final day, I mean, he got support from Jadeja, Ashwin, everybody supported him. And one thing that I would like to say, the England were 12 for no loss, so they were still trailing by 270 runs. We are going into the final day, and the final day, according to me, England definitely have a chance to actually save this particular Test match, because they have one full day and India need to take 10 wickets. But on the final day, even though the pitch is not turning very alarmingly right now, it is only turning slightly. But probably on the final day, if at all the ball really starts turning square, then that would be curtains for England. But right now, I would say England still have a chance to go and save this Test match. And India will definitely be eyeing a win, no doubt about it, because this will be another record that they will be creating, as they would have got their 18th Test win, 18th consecutive Test win, and India would be hoping that happens. But so this was all a brief summary of a very sensational day that happened in cricket yesterday. But let's get on to the match between Australia and Pakistan. And as I said, Pakistan were chasing 490 to win. They had Asad Shafiq and Yasir Shah in the middle. And well, it all started off, I mean, Yasir Shah was the one. I mean, first, as I said, there was defensive captaincy coming in from Stephen Smith, who did not employ 2 slips. One was probably thinking they would have 2 slips in the gully, and he would, but definitely didn't do that. And credit goes to, well, Asad Shafiq. Well, he carried on in the same manner, but Asad Shafiq was also wary. I mean, he was making sure that Yasir Shah was not getting strike to a lot of deliveries. But as and when Yasir Shah was getting strike, he definitely showed that he can be a good player too, as he really stuck it out at the center in the company of Asad Shafiq. Asad Shafiq also played some nice offside strokes. Yasir Shah also hit some nice boundaries, a beautiful flick which he did of the bowling of Josh Hazlewood, and he was looking good. I mean, even the Aussie bowler Stark and Hazlewood was very lucky, I thought, because he was definitely just going past the edge of the batsman. And Mitchell Stark was also trying everything, but everything was thrown at the Pakistani batsman Asad Shafiq and Yasir Shah. But what a partnership from Asad Shafiq, and they really started, one could really see the frustration in the face of the Australian captain when after 1 hour there was nothing was going and runs were just coming in, and they passed the 400 mark, then they passed the 418 mark, which was successfully done by West Indies as you know against Australia, so that was another landmark for Pakistan, and then they reached 450. It was everything was thrown at the Pakistani batsman, but I thought Yasir Shah really shown what a useful player he can be in the lower order, and he collected his highest score in Test cricket of 33, and the frustration was mounting, and then we saw that Steven Smith decided to really change his tactics. He decided to start attacking by getting the slip and gully in position. He had 2 slips, then he removed 1 slip, and then finally all that it required was a unplayable delivery from Mitchell Starc, and what joy for the Aussies as the score had reached 450. They were just 40 runs behind from victory, and nothing was happening. I mean, they were really the Aussies were really frustrated, one could say, but then this unplayable delivery from Starc really took off, and Asad Shafiq had to fend at it, and Warner just managed to cling on in the gully region, and Asad Shafiq was gone after making a wonderful 137, 13 fours and 1 6. But this test match will go down as one of the greatest test matches in test history, and Asad Shafiq making 137. Yasir Shah, after that Rahat Ali came, and then Yasir Shah trying to, after the exit of Asad Shafiq, Yasir Shah tried to dig a delivery from the bowler, from Mitchell Starc, and in the process he actually passed the crease, and this was very good reflexes on the part of the Aussie captain Smith, who took the ball and just threw at the stumps, and it hit the bullseye, and it was all over for Pakistan. But what a chase they did, what a scare they did put it in the Australian camp there, and Pakistan has to be definitely commended for a superlative effort here, but definitely falling 39 runs short, but they did a wonderful job as Yasir Shah was run out for 33, his highest score in Test cricket with 4 fours. Rahat Ali was not out on 1, and Pakistan finally were all out for 450. Bowling, Mitchell Starc had 4 wickets, 3 for 110 for Jackson Bird, 2 for 100, and the relief was absolutely palpable in the face of the Aussies, as they definitely thought that they were losing this match, that match was going away from them, and suddenly here comes that unplayable delivery from Mitchell Starc, which had the Pakistani Shafiq really gaping. And Asad Shafiq, it was very rightly so, even though Australia won the first test match to go 1-0 in the series, I thought Asad Shafiq truly deserved the man of the match, as he was given the man of the match. And I can only say that Pakistan have really made a statement here, telling Australia that better watch out, we are coming in a big way into the Boxing Day test match at the MCG and also in this series. So it was a wonderful spectacle happening at the Gabba in Brisbane, and that too, this would be remembered as one of the greatest matches in test history. The reason being that this was the first day-night test match that Pakistan and Australia were playing against each other, and this was the first ever day-night test match at the Gabba in Brisbane. And Gabba, the Brisbane crowd, will remember this for quite a long time. And as I said yesterday, it was vocal Pakistan supporters who were shouting Pakistan Zindabad, and they were also rooting for Pakistan, no doubt about it. And I'm sure they would have been disappointed, but I'm sure they would have been very heartened by the fact that Pakistan staged a great chase, but in the end, the ball was the winner. Well, from here, let's head off to India, where on the 4th day's play was totally dominated by one man, and his name is Karun Nair. In 3 innings before, he could not do anything, he failed, and here comes Karun Nair reeling off a triple century yesterday. And as I said, Len Hutton, the former England player Len Hutton, was the one who did it, who hit a triple century in his 9th test match of his career, and Karun Nair has broken that record and has hit a triple century in only his 3rd test match of his career. And what a knock from Karun Nair. He showed that first he was completely into defense. He was really blocking well. He was playing the spinners well. He was using his feet well. He is very good on the sweep shot and also used his reverse sweep shots too. And also very good to see that Karun Nair also used the ram shot to good effect, where he actually, one of the ram shots that he had of Stuart Broad actually sailed over the third man region for a 6. And Karun Nair has definitely arrived. Definitely luck was with him, no doubt about it. He was dropped a couple of times, a bit difficult chances one could say, but if it would have stuck, Karun Nair would have been a goner. But this is what people say, destiny always rules, and this is what precisely happened with Karun Nair, as he played magnificently. First he went on to his maiden century, where he was, I would say he was very, very sedate. The second, when he went to his double century, he was, I would say, he was interspersing defense with offense. But from 177, I mean, the way he actually proceeded to 300, because in the final session, I thought there were a lot of runs added, and Karun Nair in one single day making 232. Now this could be imagined only when Virendra Sehwag would have been there, but Karun Nair playing perfect cricketing strokes, and he also showed that how he can use his feet to the spinners and tong them for 6s. As what a knock from Karun Nair. They were under instruction. The final session saw runs absolutely bleeding. Karun Nair was absolutely slamming the English bowlers in only the way that he normally does. And he had really taken this English team by surprise, as Karun Nair was sitting on an unbeaten 303, holding the record now for a triple century in only his third test match of his career, breaking the former England great batsman Len Hutton's record of scoring a triple century in this 9th test match of his career. And this is a great achievement, and it is not only that. Now Karun Nair, what he has done is, Karun Nair has come in place of Ajinkya Rahane, as you know. Rohit Sharma is also there, and I think it's breeding healthy competition here. And Karun Nair, with some sort of destiny playing around him, he managed to get, but full credit for Karun Nair, showing his wide array of strokes today, as he finished on unbeaten 303 with 32 fours and 4 6s, and that enabled India to declare at the also scoring the highest total in Test history as far as India was concerned in their Test history, as India amassed 759 for 7 wickets declared. He got company from Vijay, who was bowled by an arm ball from Dawson for 29 with 4 boundaries. Ashwin on his home crowd entertained the home crowd with a very good 67, which was carved in a nice manner with 6 4s and 1 6. Jadeja also doing a fine job, contributing 51 with 1 4 and 2. Umesh Yadav was not out on 1, and India amassing their highest ever total in their Test history of 759 runs for 7 wickets declared. The bowling, there were 8 bowlers used by England, but definitely it was a real very, very tough session for them. Broad had 2 wickets, 1 wicket apiece to Ali Stokes Rashid, 2 wickets to Liam Dawson. As far as England were concerned, they were given 5 overs just before close of play by the Indian captain Virat Kohli, and England survived at 12 for no loss. So basically, England have another 270 runs more first to make, and then they have to start scoring, and then that is the time because they are still 270 runs in arrears. Cook was not out on 3. Jennings had 1 boundary. He was not out on 9. And Ishan Sharma bowled 1 over for 2. Ashwin bowled 2 overs for 7. And Ravindra Jadeja bowling 2 overs for 3 runs. So, as I said, to me, what it really sounds here is that we are going to the final day, but England definitely have a chance to actually save this test match. But it all depends on the pitch as to how the pitch plays. If the pitch plays as to what it played yesterday, showing some true bounce, that would be okay. But if it is going to turn alarmingly, then I'm sorry to say that England would be curtains for England, and India would be hoping that they can get this win, because this would be the 18th consecutive win, and they would have broken the old record of 17 consecutive test wins. And if they could do that, that would be great. And what a start for Virat Kohli in his captaincy. I mean, he is going great guns right now. Well, dear fan subscribers, it was all about Karun Nair scoring the triple century in only his third test match of his career, and I think this bloke is destined for great things, greater things in the future. And congratulations to Karun Nair, as I conclude my cricket show for today by saying goodbye.